Do you know that inside your pocket change might lie three forgotten copper treasures that once changed the face of American coinage forever? Today we uncover the hidden secrets, the minting mysteries, and the jaw-dropping values behind the rare 1906, 1938, and 1921 one-penny coins. Stay with me as we journey through over a century of American history, where every cent has a story that could make you a fortune, and countless hands. Today we uncover its story, its secrets, and its value in the world of rare American coins. Welcome to a journey through history, metal, and mystery. In the beginning of the 20th century, America stood on the brink of great change. The year 1906 was a moment of transition. Industrialization was booming, cities were growing, immigrants poured in seeking opportunity, and in every pocket from the streets of New York to the farms of the Midwest, you would likely find the humble 1-cent coin. The 1906 1 penny is part of the famous Indian head cent series, a coin that carries with it the spirit of a nation. Grappling with its identity, growth, and modernization, the Indian head cent, designed by James Barton Longacre, was first minted in 1859 and continued until 1909. It replaced the earlier Flying Eagle cent, which itself was a short-lived experiment in smaller coinage. The Indian head design features Lady Liberty wearing a Native American headdress, a symbol that blends the classical image of liberty with the romanticized vision of the American Indian. This design was not without controversy. Some argued it misrepresented Native cultures. Others saw it as an emblem of unity during a time when the country was still recovering from the wounds of the Civil War. By 1906, the Indian head cent was well established in circulation, but changes were on the horizon. The nation was preparing to celebrate its centennial milestones, and new coin designs were being considered behind the scenes. The famous Lincoln cent was about to be born, but before that, the 1906 penny would be among the last of its kind. Minted in Philadelphia, the 1906 penny had a mintage of over 96 million coins, a huge number at the time. Yet today, finding one in pristine condition is a true challenge. Millions were lost to time, melted down, worn smooth by years of exchange. Some ended up in the hands of collectors, tucked away in old cigar boxes, coin albums, or buried in the ground waiting to be discovered by metal detectorists. The metal composition of the 1906 penny is 95% copper with traces of tin and zinc, giving it that warm reddish hue that collectors love. Over time, exposure to the elements has turned many of these coins to shades of brown, sometimes with hints of green or blue toning that adds to their unique beauty. The obverse shows the familiar Liberty, with her feathered headdress surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original colonies, and the date 1906. Proudly beneath the reverse carries the oak wreath tied with a ribbon and the small shield at the top encircling the words 1 cent. It is a simple yet elegant design that stood the test of time. Each scratch, each nick tells a story. A child who lost it between the floorboards, a farmer who dropped it in the field, a soldier who carried it overseas during the First World War. Every 1906 penny is a witness to the tides of history. Its value today depends greatly on its condition. A well-worn piece may only fetch a few dollars, a reminder of its humble origins. But coins in mint state with original luster can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, especially if they have unique characteristics like doubling repunch dates or vibrant toning. These coins have been found in attic discoveries, estate sales, and even hidden inside old furniture. In one famous story, a man renovating his grandparents' house found a small cache of Indian head cents, including a nearly uncirculated 1906 penny tucked behind a baseboard. The thrill of discovery keeps collectors as we peel back decades of forgotten tales that could turn your pocket change into a piece of gold. In the year 1938, America stood on the brink of change. The Great Depression still cast a long shadow across the nation, and every penny counted more than anyone could imagine during this era. The humble one-penny coin became a silent witness to the struggles, hopes, and dreams of millions of Americans. The 1938 one-penny coin, known to many collectors as the Lincoln Wheat Cent, carried the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials VDB tell a story of artistic pride, controversy, and ultimate acceptance. The coin's reverse side displayed two stalks of wheat symbolizing prosperity and abundance, a hopeful image during years when breadlines were long and jobs were few. In 1938, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 156 million of these pennies, while the Denver Mint added more than 20 million, and the San Francisco Mint only a fraction of that each mint mark carries. Its own significance and rarity, which collectors today hunt for with eagle eyes, the small S or D under the date transforms an ordinary coin into a potential treasure trove for those who understand the subtleties of mintage errors and low population numbers. These coins traveled in pockets, purses, and cash registers, moving from small towns to big cities, from rural farms to bustling factories. They bought loaves of bread. They paid for newspapers. They slipped into piggy banks where children saved dreams of bicycles, baseball cards, and candy. The 1938 penny is not just metal, it is a time capsule. It reflects a year when Franklin D. Roosevelt sat in the White House, steering the nation through economic recovery programs, when the Dust Bowl still forced thousands of families to abandon their land, when Hollywood movies and big band music offered a brief escape from daily hardships, every worn edge, every faded letter tells you who held it and how it survived. Decades tucked away in forgotten drawers or rolled in bank vaults. Collectors today know that a pristine 1938 penny can fetch far more than its face value. A mint state coin with strong luster and a clear strike can bring hundreds of dollars at auction, and the excitement grows when you discover varieties like doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes. These errors happened when mint workers misaligned dies or failed to catch subtle mistakes, making each flawed coin an accidental masterpiece. Historians trace how the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head cent in 1909, celebrating Lincoln's 100th birthday. The wheat design endured until 1958 before it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse, every decade since added layers of history and meaning. But the 1938 issue stands at a unique crossroads before the outbreak of World War II. Before America's economy would fully recover, before pennies would lose their wheat design. The coin bridges past and future, making it a cherished piece in every numismatist's collection. Families often discover these coins in inherited jars or old bank rolls, and the thrill of finding a rare mint mark or high-grade specimen is like striking oil in your backyard. Even today, metal detectors turn up lost pennies buried for decades. In fields and gardens, each discovery reignites the fascination with small change that can change your life. As you hold a 1938 penny, you hold a year frozen in copper. You feel the weight of history in your palm, from the factories that minted billions of these cents to the hands that passed them across dusty store counters. Collectors build entire albums dedicated to Lincoln Wheat Cents, tracing every year, and mint mark filling gaps becomes an obsession as each slot represents a piece of American legacy numismatics. The art and science of coin collecting is more than just a hobby. It is a preservation of history, culture, and the stories of everyday people. The 1938 penny reminds us that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest stories. So next time you come across a jar of old pennies, do not dismiss them. One may hold secrets of 1938. Waiting for you to unlock its hidden value. Keep your eyes sharp, your magnifying glass ready, and your passion for American coin history alive, because this tiny copper disc is a bridge to a world that shaped who we are today. And when you discover that perfect 1938 penny, gleaming with history and mystery, you become part of a community that understands what it means to treasure the past in the palm of your hand. And that, my friend, is why the 1938 one-penny coin remains one of the most fascinating chapters in the story of rare American coins. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting, because the best treasures are always yet to be found. In the year 1938, the world was changing. America was rising slowly from the deep shadows of the Great Depression, and every single coin in circulation held more meaning than its face value. The one-penny coin minted in this year was not just a piece of copper, but a testament to survival hope and the enduring spirit of the American people. The 1938 penny, known officially as the Lincoln Wheat Cent, carried the enduring portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a face that had graced the humble penny since 1909, when Victor David Brenner first designed it to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. His initials VDB were a small yet powerful signature that had sparked controversy when first introduced, yet by 1938 they had become an accepted mark of numismatic artistry. The obverse showed Lincoln's profile sharp, clear, and dignified, while the reverse displayed two simple yet powerful stalks of wheat, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, a simple design, yet one that carried deep symbolism of prosperity, growth, and hope. During years when many Americans needed all three, the minting of these pennies took place in three primary locations: the Philadelphia Mint, which produced coins with no mint mark, the Denver Mint, which stamped a small D under the date, and the San Francisco Mint, which used an S. Collectors today, know that these tiny mint marks hold enormous power in determining rarity and value, because mintage numbers and survival rates varied widely across these facilities. The Philadelphia Mint struck the largest quantity, over 156 million coins, while Denver added over 20 million, and San Francisco produced only a small fraction, making S-marked coins more desirable to collectors, especially in higher grades. During 1938, pennies were used to buy daily bread pay for newspapers, make a phone call, or slip into piggy banks of children saving for small dreams. They traveled through the pockets of factory workers, farmers, teachers, students, bankers, and drifters alike. Each penny carried a journey of labor exchange and sometimes loss. People at the time did not think of their pocket change as a future treasure. They thought of it as survival. Yet here we are almost a century later, combing through jars, drawers, and old coin rolls, hunting for these small copper discs that now tell stories of the past. A coin that could once buy a piece of candy or a postage stamp can now fetch far more if preserved in pristine condition. For collectors, condition is king. A 1938 penny in mint state condition, with full original red luster and no dollars at auction, even higher if it shows a rare error variety like a double die or a repunched mint mark, because back then, minting technology was not perfect human error. Combined with machine limitations, sometimes produced coins with fascinating flaws. These errors might have passed unnoticed by the millions who spent these coins daily, but they are treasures today to numismatists. The term numismatics comes from the Greek word nomisma, meaning coin. It is both. An art and a science. Collectors spend hours examining the tiniest details: the thickness of a letter, the angle of a wheat stalk, the placement of the mint mark, searching for varieties that can multiply a coin's value and historical significance. Consider the double die error, a phenomenon where a coin die shifts between strikes, creating a shadow effect on letters or numbers. This visual doubling makes for a dramatic, collectible example, though. The 1938 penny does not have as many famous doubled die examples as earlier years. Like the 1955, it is still worth checking every coin carefully, because new varieties can emerge when experts examine long overlooked rolls. This is what keeps the hobby alive: the thrill of discovery. The 1938 penny stands at an interesting point in history, sandwiched between the Economic struggles of the 1930s and the impending global conflict of World War II copper was still plentiful and used for minting, but just a few years later in 1943, the U.S. Mint would be forced to strike pennies in steel coated with zinc to conserve copper for the war effort. This makes the pre-war Lincoln wheat cents even more symbolic of an era when the country balanced on the edge of survival and renewal, each penny from 1938 that survives in good condition is a survivor of time-changing hands through recessions, booms, wars, and decades of progress. Families find these coins in inherited collections, forgotten cookie tins, or tucked away in the back of closets. Their discovery often ignites curiosity and a journey into American history. Someone holding a shiny red-brown 1938 penny today might wonder whose hands first held it, what groceries it bought, what dreams it helped save for, what breadline it crossed, what story it tells. Numismatists build elaborate albums organized by date and mint mark filling. Each hole becomes a mission, every missing coin an unsolved puzzle. The 1938 series offers relatively accessible finds for beginners. Yet the challenge comes with condition. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes a penny that has escaped. Corrosion scratches and heavy wear for nearly 90 years is a true time capsule. Auctions sometimes reveal amazing surprises when a perfect mint state red example appears. Collectors bid fiercely, driving prices up as they recognize the rarity of such preservation. This is why professional grading by trusted services like PCGS or NGC adds value to a coin, certifying its authenticity and condition, giving buyers confidence that they hold the real deal. The 1938 penny is also part of a broader numismatic story. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series itself spans from 1909 to 1958, a remarkable run for a design that remained mostly unchanged for nearly half a century. Each year brings its own quirks, mintage numbers, and varieties, so collectors often expand their focus to complete a full date and mint mark set of the wheat cents. They might hunt for key dates like the 1909 SVDB or the elusive 1914D, yet every year. This is the story that turns pocket change into a treasure hunt. So let's dive deep into the rare world of the 1921 penny, where every scratch, mint mark, and detail could make or break a fortune. In the year 1921, the world was slowly recovering from the aftermath of the First World War. Industries were shifting, economies were transforming, and the United States Mint was adjusting to new realities. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, which had begun in 1909, was still relatively young, yet by 1921, it had already become a symbol of everyday American commerce. From grocery stores to factory pay packets, the penny was the backbone of small transactions in this period. The U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco were all involved in penny production. But for 1921, only the main Philadelphia Mint struck the 1-cent coin with no mint mark. This tiny detail often confuses new collectors, but for seasoned numismatists, it marks the beginning of a treasure hunt. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 39 million pennies in 1920, one which may seem like a huge number, but compared to other years with hundreds of millions minted, it is relatively low. Furthermore, the quality control in that era was inconsistent, meaning well-struck, clear examples with full wheat stalks and crisp details are quite rare. When you examine a 1921 penny under magnification, you will notice the boldness of Abraham Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the lettering, and the sharpness of the wheat stalks on the reverse. All these features contribute to the coin's grade, and value collectors search for those with minimal wear, clear lines, and original red or reddish-brown color, which can skyrocket the value from just a few cents to thousands of dollars. The history behind this penny also intertwines with major economic trends. During 1921, the United States was experiencing the aftermath of a short, sharp depression known as the Depression of 1921. A period marked by deflation and high unemployment. This economic dip affected coin circulation and hoarding behavior. People saved their coins, including pennies, which means many circulated examples exist today. But finding uncirculated mint state examples is the real challenge because the mint did not always handle coins. Gently planchets or blank discs were often poorly prepared, and dies would wear out, producing weak strikes. Therefore, collectors today must be experts at distinguishing genuine high-grade examples from cleaned or artificially enhanced ones. Interestingly, the Lincoln Wheat penny design itself has a rich backstory, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, which at the time was controversial. President Theodore Roosevelt had pushed for more artistic American coins to rival European counterparts. So Brenner adapted a design based on a plaque he had done of Lincoln earlier. The wheat ears on the reverse symbolized prosperity and growth fitting for the post-Civil War Union. The 1921 penny thus sits at the crossroads of American artistry, industrial growth, and economic challenge. Many collectors debate whether the 1921 penny is a semi-key date. While it is not as rare as the legendary 1909 SVDB or the 1914 D, its relatively low mintage and condition rarity make it a sought-after piece in a complete Lincoln cent collection. Auction records show that high-grade mint state red examples have fetched prices in the mid-five-figure range, especially when slabbed by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. The grading scale itself is crucial to understanding. Penny value coins are graded from poor to mint state 60 and above, but small details make huge price differences. A coin graded MS 65 red can be worth exponentially more than an MS-63 brown. Even though they look similar to the untrained eye, collectors also need to watch out for counterfeits. The Lincoln series has seen its share of fakes, especially key dates. So authenticating a 1921 penny involves checking for proper metal composition, weight edge, smoothness, and die characteristics, as well as provenance and trusted certification. The story of the 1921 penny is not complete without talking about error coins. Minting errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks add another layer of excitement to the hunt. Some of these errors can push a humble penny into the ranks of major collectibles. For instance, a doubled die obverse, where the date or lettering appears doubled, is highly prized. Though not many confirmed examples exist for 1921, but collectors still check every detail just in case. The social and cultural backdrop is fascinating too. In 1921, America was entering the Roaring Twenties, an era of jazz prohibition flappers and booming industry. Yet beneath the glitter, there were economic tremors that would eventually lead to the Great Depression. Less than a decade later, coins from this transitional period capture that story in metal. The 1921 penny circulated through countless hands, perhaps a factory worker in Detroit, farmer in Kansas, or a shopkeeper in Chicago, each coin carrying silent witness to the life of early 20th century America. Over the years, many of these pennies were lost, corroded, or spent abroad, making surviving examples in great shape. Even more precious collectors today often wonder what makes a simple copper coin so captivating. It is the intersection of history, design, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt that keeps the legacy alive. So next time you find an old jar of pennies, take a closer look. That dull brown coin might be a piece of American history worth far more than its face value numismatics. The study and collection of coins continues to grow, and the 1921 Lincoln Wheat penny remains a classic entry point for new collectors and a proud piece for veteran enthusiasts who know that behind every coin lies a story waiting to be uncovered and shared.